Burr, Anthony Webber, 7, Road to Mandalay, Peter Scudamore, 8, Bez Bombaddy, Blinkett, Mark Parrott, 9, Vivac, Colin Brown, 10, Eusebio, Peter Double, 11, Manta, Blinkett, written by Tommy Rowan, 12, Arctic Menelik, Blinkett, written by Ron O'Leary, 13, Imperium, Pat Murphy, 15, Canio, John Francome, 16, Brooks Law, Steve Knight, 17, Max Treasure, Richard Rowe, 18, Precipien, David Dutton, 19, Dromoland Hill, Paul Barton, 20, Belly Gruby, Reg Crank, 22, 4 Shares, Kevin O'Brien, 23, Simbad, Mike Williams, 24, Camabell, Brendan Powell, 25, Apple Joe, John Joe Neal, 27, Kevin Evans, Malcolm Bastard, 28, Blinkett Palestrina, written by Robert Chapman, 29, Dunrose, Sam Morshead, 30, Tangler, Frank Berry, 31, Paper Razor, Peter Dever, 32, Jubilee Lights, Robert Strong, 33, Santiago.
Not quite. He had a low blood count 3 weeks ago, which missed his last race. And the boy who does in, Graham Burrows, who rides him in all his work, said he's not quite as bang on as he was last year. But he says it won't be a distance this year. He says it'll be 12 lengths.
He's only 2 lengths out.
He was only 2 lengths out. He was quite chuffed, actually, yes.
Well, it hasn't helped the rest when you get him right again. But what happens now? Do you go on with him 2 mile chases?
Definitely stick to 2 mile chasing, yes. There aren't many chases left for him to run at, and his next place is Liverpool. But the last twice he's been to Liverpool, he's ended up on the deck. So we may give it a miss this year.
And will he be back here next year for the hat-trick for him?
I hope so, if we can keep him sound. He's been a remarkable horse over the years because he raced on the flat first, and then he was 3rd in the Triumph Hurdle, and he's battled away every season since, and he's now 9. So he's been a fantastic servant to us, and been a pleasure to train him.
Well, let's look ahead now to tomorrow's Gold Cup. And the big news, of course, is that you've declared blinkers for Burgoyne. Now, why did you do this?
Yes, well, as you know, he misbehaved very badly at Wincanton, and we couldn't afford for things to go wrong tomorrow. Tomorrow is a big day, you know, and the ground's right for him. And the other thing is that possibly Brad likes to force the pace on him in the last circuit, and we just didn't know if we could trust him in front, not to stop and to mess around. I mean, last year he went out 2 miles from home and kicked on, and so with that in mind, we probably couldn't risk things going wrong tomorrow.
But the bookmakers have made Wayward Lad favourite at 5 to 4. Is he in good condition?
Touchwood, yes, he's very, very well. We've had a super preparation and nothing's gone wrong so far, and he's very well.
So could I ask you how you would compare the chances of those 2 tomorrow?
I think I would have to put Wayward Lad would have more chance than Burgoyne. One is because he's very, very well. The other is possibly it's not quite soft enough for Burgoyne. But having said that, Burgoyne won the race last year and he won't be a long way away.
Could they be 1st and 2nd?
No chance, no.
Michael, congratulations and good luck. The great Michael Dickinson, and now let's...
In the race, Max Park, and just cantering down very quietly there. It's a long way to go, and to keep them as cool as possible, as relaxed as possible before a 3 mile contest is quite important, because they'll certainly need all the energy that they've got later on in the race. Max Park, a winner first time out this season, but a couple of unplaced runs since then. Doesn't really augur too well for her chances this afternoon. Graham Bradley in the saddle. He'll, of course, be riding Burgoyne tomorrow in the big one.
And the white flag up, they're under starters' orders. These 31 runners are running, and they've got 13 flights to jump over 3 miles and a furlong in this one of the traditional gambles of the meeting. Golden Symbol in the center, Precipien the grey towards the left, and towards the left of Precipien is Max Treasure as they come to the first. Camabell over on the far side. Road to Mandalay. And a faller there, a faller is Paper Racer. Paper Racer has gone at the first, and Camabell is now the leader as they race out into the country. Camabell on the inside of Max Treasure, then Road to Mandalay. Just in behind them come Ballygrooby and Golden Symbol. Max Park was the other faller at the first flight. So Camabell disputing it now with Max Treasure, and Graham Bradley up on his feet all right after that fall on Max Park. Running down to the second flight, Camabel on the inside, Max Treasure. And right up with them, Golden Symbol. Moss Moran is up with them too. And both horses all right. I've just seen the first faller get to his feet, but his rider is yet to rise. Camabel with right up on his outside, Palestrina, Max Treasure. Moss Moran also right in the picture. And Ballygruby well there. Jubilee Lights also. Beginning to swing left-handed now. Camabel, Max Treasure. As they race towards the fourth. Camabel, Max Treasure. Jumping almost in unison there. Jubilee Lights right up with them too. Ballygruby towards the far side. Rigton Bow, Baz Bombatti and Moss Moran all very close to the lead as they run downhill. Papa's Buskins there on the outside. Max Treasure and Camabel though still disputing it. Max Treasure, Camabel, Papa's Buskins on the far side. Ballygruby, Santago is well there. That was the fifth. Moss Moran is only just in behind the leaders. Jubilee Lights also well there. Running down towards the next. Camabel, Max Treasure, Santago and Papa's Buskins. Little between that quartet there. Just behind them come Jubilee Lights. And also just in behind the leaders is Dunrose. They're coming to the next. Max Treasure, Santago, Ballygruby and Papa's Buskins, with on the far side Jubilee Lights. Just in behind them, Precipien and then Simbad. Road to Mandalay towards the outside. Then just in behind them, Dromoland Hill. Another complete circuit. Max Treasure on the inside of Santago and Papa's Buskins and Ballygruby and Camabel. Then Jubilee Lights as they run downhill towards the next. This will be the eighth. Camabel, Max Treasure, Papa's Buskins on the outside. Papa's Buskins landed just in the lead there. Arctic Menelek has made very good progress too, just in behind the leaders. And so has Fame the Spur. Coming to the ninth. Papa's Buskins, Camabel, Arctic Menelek, Max Treasure, Ballygruby, Fame the Spur. Manta gone up on the outside. Vivac's not far behind the leaders. Dunrose comes next. And Max Treasure is a faller there. And Precipien has been pulled up. So Papa's Buskins from Arctic Menelek now. Then Manta in third. Just in behind Manta is Dunrose. This is 4 from home. Then Ballygruby, then Papa's Buskins. Racing uphill now, Papa's Buskins, Arctic Menelek. Manta still improving on the outside. Simbad very well in the picture. So is Dunrose. Christensen and Road to Mandalay not far behind. And Canio coming to join the leaders as well. Papa's Buskins now with a marginal advantage from a riderless horse. Papa's Buskins landed in the lead there from Manta. Then making ground is Simbad towards the far side. Christensen not far behind him. At the second last now, Papa's Buskins, Simbad, Canio. Simbad landed in the lead there. Moss Moran trying to get back at him on the inside. Racing now towards the home turn. Canio coming there strongly. And as they come down to the final flight, it's Canio on the near side, Moss Moran on the far side. Canio lands in the lead. Pappas Buskins makes a bad mistake there, racing into the closing stages. And Canio racing up towards the line in great style. Canio looks as though he's going to hold him. Christensen coming there to challenge him, but Canio has held him. Christensen is second. Third is Moss Moran. Fourth is Pappas Buskins. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4. Canio, Christensen, Moss Moran, and Pappas Buskins. And so the result of the Coral Golden Hurdle, first, number 15, Canio, owned by Mr. David Laddams, trained by Ron Hodges, and ridden by John Francome. Second was number 2, Christensen, owned by Mrs. Ursula Fantasia, trained by Roger Fisher, and ridden by Jimmy Duggan. And third, number 3, Moss Moran, owned by Mr. D.W. Armstrong, trained by Andy Scott, and ridden by Andrew Stringer, with fourth, number 1, Pappas Buskins. So John Francome wins the Coral Golden Hurdle to make his score for the season 104. Here's how he did it, reviewed by Richard Pittman.
And this is to be his first winner of the festival meeting, which is very strange for John, but anyway, he's away now. He comes bursting up on the outside here, and there are a whole wall of horses still in with it at the moment. Simbad in the white face there, 2 from the left, that was going well at the time, and the grey Road to Mandalay, who in fact finished in front of this horse, just weakening back into about 8th place. But Moss Moran is following the loose horse over on the rail. Pappas Buskins won from the rail. Manta with the blinkers had run a good race, but Canio here got the good jump he wanted, and there's not going to be any challengers from here on in. Little Christensen, who has run so many good races over a trip, stays on up the hill to take Moss Moran's second place. But I would imagine that Moss Moran's half a dozen owners are well satisfied with having come to Cheltenham and run so well. Pappas Buskins back in 4th, Manta back in 5th. All these horses sure to go on and win races. It is a very competitive race, but Canio, unplaced last time out, winning nicely for yet another smallish trainer, Ron Hodges, but in the hands of a very big jockey, John Francome. And he's easing up as he gets to the line.